LSPD, open up. LSPD, open up. Don't make us ask again.
Fucker.
Hey, you better not. Don't jump, Jesse. Cringes! Hey, dumbass. On your left. Oh, shit. So I've been a detective for about a few months now. I was an officer beforehand, and before that I was a deputy for Blaine County.
I was pretty high up in the state police, and soon after became the sheriff of a county in Pennsylvania. After a while, I just wanted something a little more relaxed, so I recently transferred to the Los Santos Police Department, where I am now a detective with the Criminal Investigations Division.
I've been with the LSPD for about 4 months now, but I have 2 years experience with different departments around the country.
At the time, serial killers were pretty common in San Andreas, believe it or not. They all had their oddly creative methods. For example, there was Beehive and Monkey Man, and the stories that they told to each victim, they've gone quiet. There's the Butcher, and literally butchering each corpse. We believe he's still active though. It's been a few months, but based on his pattern so far, we believe he'll be making an appearance sometime soon, unfortunately.
My favorite was the Walmart slasher. He basically just rammed people with shopping carts in a Walmart parking lot.
Being a serial killer was like some sort of trend.
Oh, there was also the movie theater executioner who killed people that were on their phone during the movies.
Turn off the flash, you fucking moron!
That was a motive I could get behind, frankly.
Then came along the so-called highway killer. The first day of his appearance started out pretty hectic. Crangis Ross and I just finished serving an arrest warrant.
I was only at Walmart to do the investigation of the murderers. I don't actually shop at Walmart.
We were after an individual for murder, and he was just held up in some meth lab. Way to kill two birds with one stone, I say. Everything after that was pretty normal, until Internal Affairs started harassing us for no good reason. What's going on, fellas? What seems to be the issue here?
Internal Affairs investigation.
Oh, Internal Affairs!
Internal Affairs investigation
Oh,
here.
is this your hubby? Yeah, this your little hubby here? Didn't disclose it to HR, did you?
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Did you tell them anything, Crangis?
Oh, I didn't tell him shit, and I told him.
He told us everything.
Alright, so, okay, fine, you have us, alright? We're dating, okay? We're seeing each other.
Jebediah and Crangis were in my department just last year before they transferred to the LSPD, and honestly, from what I saw, their relationship started out like a typical bromance, nothing too crazy, kind of like they were just best friends. And it started getting a little more intimate, to say the least.
Next time, disclose it to Human Resources.
We were planning on it, but we were having so much fun together.
Having so much fun, huh? Doing the dirty with each other?
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, holding hands while you're standing above a homicide victim, huh?
Shut up.
Oh, hell yeah. IA made me uncomfortable as so I started praying for a way to get out of that mess. And behold, God answered my prayers. Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
We gotta run.
Oh, God! Harold is floating away! What's happening?
Oh my god!
4 we have an old guy in a wheelchair floating in the air.
I don't know what to do.
Calling the F-16, that's what you do. Have him shoot it down. Ooh, ooh! We had no idea how to deal with a flying man in a wheelchair. So again I prayed to get out of that one too. And you guessed it, God answered my prayers. Again.
What's your emergency?
This is the highway killer. I stabbed a man multiple times in the farm fields of Grapeseed today. And I threw him over the overpass, where the cow stares over all. Only God may judge me now, and you may only catch me if I let you. I'm going on a rampage. I'm going on a rampage.
Maybe he threw him off here. Check this, yeah, right there.
He said it was on the interstate. Yeah.
Right there,
Oh,
body,
he is,
right there.
We see him. 4243, we're 1023. There's one individual down.
Sir, can you hear me? Hey! Check his pulse and everything.
4243, we're gonna have a
Oh,
body
dear God.
under the interstate on Grapeseed Avenue. Can you get 1052?
Checking his pulse.
We arrive on scene, and we find this poor bastard who has stab wounds all over his body, and his neck is slit wide open. And to top it off, his neck is also broken from being thrown off of the overpass. He still had his ID on him, so we were able to identify him as James Spooley.
This guy is messed up. Hey, what's that in his mouth?
We also found a note in his pocket left by the suspect introducing himself as the Highway Killer, and that we have to say his name on the news or else he kills 4 more people.
City of Saints. More like the City of Death. Am I right, guys?
Now is not the time for jokes, honey.
Look how he spells serial killer. Unnamed killer strikes.
So on the scene, a sheriff's deputy told me about a different homicide earlier in the day that we were fairly certain was also committed by the so-called highway killer. Victim's name was John Connor, and he had a couple of stab wounds and a .45 caliber gunshot wound to the head. He also had a smiley face carved into his stomach that looked just like the one on the note we found on Spooley's body.
I'm gonna go check if I could see something on the highway. I'll be back. I didn't find much in the overpass except for some blood, which we've identified as Mr. Spooley's, and some tire tracks taken off down south. It wasn't much, but a clue's a clue.
Are you guys here for the box?
Oh, the box. What's this?
This box, it was left here.
As soon as we got back to the Sandy Shores PD, there was a box sitting at the front desk. And on it, there was a note that said, "For detectives," with a little smiley face. Do we touch it? I mean, who else would touch it?
Well, we're not gonna leave it here.
Yeah.
I'm not
We've
really
got the gloves
sure
on. Why don't you do the honors? I let Ross and another trooper do the honors of seeing what's inside, while I checked CCTV to see who dropped it off. I saw a Hispanic male in a gray hoodie with a red tee, white blue cap, and some black pants. He just came in, placed it on the front desk, and left. He was very casual about it. Hey, what was inside that box, Ross?
A toe from the first
victim.
That's great. That's great. Just one toe in that big box?
Yeah.
All right. While I was taking note of what this guy looked like, we heard a few gunshots go off in the distance, and they were fairly close. And then soon after, we hear over the radio that one of our deputies pressed his panic button.
Panic Unit 309, 1023, Algonquin Boulevard, Panorama Drive.
And that's always bad news.
White
Boulevard, Panorama Drive.
Shit. I'm coming. Go, go, go. So first we heard the gunshots. And then we heard the panic button. Put those two together. There are many possible outcomes here. And we got the worst one. Oh shit, he's dead.
Yeah. He has a dash cam in his car, though.
I'm gonna block traffic. Go check it out.
As soon as we get there, we see a sheriff's deputy down, and a puddle of blood is beginning to surface beneath him.
Alright, what do we got? Was he stabbed? Oh shit.
Right, no pulse, 2 GSWs to the chest, and they've both penetrated and gone through.
CPR. It was Deputy Cody Abrams. He suffered a GSW to his chest and another to his head, which killed him. And with all the other homicides just hours prior to Abrams' death, I thought, could today get any worse?
Just gotta grab
Come
his
on,
keys
Cody.
real quick.
He's gonna be alright. He's gonna be alright.
Has he got a pulse? I don't know if you see any bullet casings. I'm looking for some.
CID units, do you maybe want to take the SSD out, the camera?
Yeah, I think Ross is checking that out right now.
Yeah, I got it right now.
Alright.
Got his keys. As per standard procedure, we check Abrams' dash cam to see what had happened. We watch him pull over a red Gran Torino with the license plate 18 William Edward Henry 4.
309, show me out in 1011 with a red and colored Gran Torino. Occupied time zone at the intersection of Panorama and Algonquin. Hey, so basically, caught you going a little fast back there. Can I just get your license, registration, and proof of insurance, please?
And the driver, without exchanging any sort of dialogue, shoots him twice.
Whoa, whoa!
Afterwards, we looked around for any evidence that might have been left by the suspect, and luckily enough, we found one .45 caliber bullet casing on the ground.
After finding that bullet casing, Ross and I gave each other this look like, this could be the same guy that murdered Connor, right? Then I remembered the tire tracks that I saw on the overpass, so I checked to see if the Gran Torino left any tracks before fleeing the scene, and it did. So I compared the two, and sure enough, it was a match. That was our guy. I immediately put a bolo out for a red Gran Torino and then also sent the shell casing in for prints, but no dice.
Hi, my name is Billy Household with the Billy Household News. Would you like to comment on this situation?
Right now I don't want to say anything. We might throw off the killer.
Alright, you heard it, folks. The police have declined their comment. This means they are most likely affiliated with the murders.
Oh my goodness, they're worse than the Daily Ejaculator.
The Household News is the best news station in the entirety of the state.
I'm so embarrassed. Please leave me alone.
I started searching for his vehicle and running his plates through our system, but there was no Gran Torino with that license plate. So immediately we assume that the vehicle is stolen.
Because of how quickly this guy was moving, we decided to hold a press conference. We knew we'd hear from him again.
This guy was clearly on a rampage. He said it himself when he called 911.
He made it clear that he was going to keep striking and he was going to do it again soon.
We decided it would be a good idea to not tell everyone about his plan to take 4 more souls, because we didn't want to cause a panic.
We didn't say anything about his car or the ammo he was using, because other than the 911 calls, that was the only thing we had on him. We really didn't want him to know what we knew, and it was also important that he kept driving around his red Gran Torino, because it's a pretty rare car, and that could have been the golden piece of evidence that we needed to take him down.
Good evening. I'm Detective Jebediah Longdick, and unfortunately, we have a killer on the loose, and he is moving quickly. And just today alone, the suspect has taken the life of 2 civilians and 1 sheriff's deputy using a knife and a handgun. The suspect is Hispanic, has a full beard, in his mid-30s to early 40s, and is about 6 feet tall, give or take. In both a no and a 911 call, the suspect has claimed responsibility for the murder of James Spooley, but recent evidence also ties him to the murder of John Connor, Deputy Cody Abrams. These are the works of the highway killer.
What's your emergency?
This is the highway killer. I've just murdered a man on the side of the highway across from 956. Fat old farm boy wearing a plaid t-shirt and some jeans. He deserved it all. Killing those innocent animals on the farm for what, a fucking paycheck? No. It's not how it's gonna work around here anymore, since you guys don't know how to do your fucking job and protect and serve. I am the law now.
The press conference came to an end, and we started driving back to the office to try and figure things out. Not even an hour later, we got another call.
The highway killer has claimed his 4th murder victim, and the day hasn't even ended yet. Alright, right here. Pull over to the side, pull over to the side. Oh, there's a body.
Where? You saw it?
Right in front of us, in front of us.
Oh, shit. The highway killer said he left the body somewhere along Great Ocean Highway, and as Ross and I were searching, there he was, on his back with a knife about as long as you know what, lodged into his face.
4243, we have a body across from Postal 958 on the Sonora Freeway. Can we get 1052s if available?
Wait, you guys got another body?
Yeah, knife in the face right now. Let me get my gloves on. Alright, can you get an ID on this guy possibly? We have a lot of work to do. This guy's moving fast.
Oh shit, I think he's gonna be 1144. He's got a knife in his face.
I heard what he said in his phone call, his 911 call, about killing Ranson, and I thought, what a bitch. He's doing this for the farm animals, and I am the law. You know, I thought most serial killers could actually be likable people when you talk to them, but I already fucking hated this guy. Freeway killer. Ross, take a look at this.
That does sound a little cooler.
I don't know, he keeps changing up his name now, apparently.
Freeway killer. Is that not what we called him at the damn press briefing?
Well, it was the highway killer, but now it's the freeway killer.
Freeway killer. This is the same thing.
Is this a highway or?
Yeah, what's wrong with this guy? Yeah, when he left us a note correcting us like that, that kind of just sealed the deal. Like, I did not like this guy at all. I'm sticking to the highway killer. Sounds cooler anyways.
I mean, it sounds really the same.
Well, to each their own. Grange is right down next victim, Bob Ranson, B.O.B. Ranson.
Bob Ransom?
Yeah, R-A-N-S-O-N.
I'll just get Corner, come pick it up.
Yeah. Please do. Appreciate it, fellas.
So the call came from this 24/7. It's probably from a payphone.
Oh, really? I say we try to get DNA from the phone or something if you pressed it up against his face.
We traced a 911 call back to a payphone close to where Ranson was found using a database of payphones in the area. We dusted the phone for prints and searched for any DNA left behind. And by some miracle, we found a single strand of hair. It was a public payphone, so it could have been anybody's, but we also found a partial fingerprint on the note he left behind. We sent the DNA and the prints to the lab, and sure enough, it's a match. Dave Ramirez.
I'm sorry. I wish there was something I could do.
He was one of our best.
What are you wearing?
I am so sorry.
Are you nervous?
Never. You got the green light. Move in. Everybody check in. SWAT standing by. SRT in position. Kill the lights. You are clear to move in. I repeat, you are clear to move in. Breach, breach, breach.
The murder spree committed by the so-called highway killer has led LSPD investigators here to a small urban home sitting outside downtown Los Santos. The Los Santos Police Department have not provided any details at this time, but have described the crime scene as nothing but horrific.
The night we figured out the highway killer's identity, which is Dave Ramirez, we served a no-knock arrest warrant at his home.
The moment we had sufficient evidence that Dave Ramirez was the highway killer, we requested a warrant. Chadoy didn't want to waste any time.
Ramirez made his intentions pretty clear. He murdered 4 people in a single day, and I couldn't let that spree continue, especially after he killed Bob Ranson, simply because we called him the wrong name at a press conference.
Chadoy led SWAT and SRT to execute the raid on Ramirez's home. All the lights were on, so someone had to be there.
Now, I wasn't willing to risk any casualties, on our side obviously, so I did everything I could to guarantee our advantage against Ramirez.
Ramirez was a man with nothing to lose, which made him dangerous. Recently divorced, no job, no friends. He was gonna go out with a bang, and he was gonna take as many people as he could to go down with him. This is his last stand.
As soon as our team was ready, we cut the power, and we breached.
Police, hands up!
When SWAT kicked down the front door, there was an individual covered in blood. I mean drenched in blood. Head wrapped in duct tape, sitting in the hallway, facing the front door, tied to a chair.
It wasn't Ramirez. It was another one of his victims. Somehow, he knew we were coming, and he left us a gift.
The person was deceased, and later we were able to confirm his identity thanks to his wife, as Paul Matthews. The body was no less than an hour old, with 143 stab wounds. Surprisingly this time, Ramirez didn't actually leave a note. He just left him there.
In all my years of law enforcement, after everything I've seen, this took the cake as one of the most gruesome crime scenes I have ever had to investigate.
I took a look around Ramirez's home. It was pretty clean. Cleaner than my 9-year-old nephew's bedroom.
There were no clues in his home suggesting his motive. Just things you would find in any normal home.
Now, we didn't really recover much from his home. No weapons were found inside. So when he left, he definitely took everything that was useful to continue his murder spree.
He took everything but his red Gran Torino, which we found in his garage.
You're good.
Inside of it, we found a bloody knife, and after some tests, we were able to confirm that the blood belonged to John Connor. We also found rope, extra ammunition, and an empty .45 shell casing, which was probably from when he shot Deputy Abrams.
Other than another victim found, we left empty-handed. No leads, no clues that suggest where and when he might strike next. We figured out who he was on the first day, which led me to wonder if this was part of a bigger plan of his. Did he want us to know who he was?
This was no longer an investigation. This turned into a statewide manhunt.
This just in, authorities have found a body inside the home of the highway killer, who is now known as Dave Ramirez. The body has been identified as Paul Matthews. This makes Matthews Ramirez's 5th victim in less than 24 hours. Detective Nathan Ross, one of the lead detectives on the case, says they have not found any more clues in his home that could reveal a clear motive. The only clue they have is Ramirez's spine-chilling 911 call to authorities where he expresses his concerns for animal life in dairy farms right after he murdered Bob Ranson, a local agriculturalist.
911, what's your emergency?
This is the highway killer.
Family and co-workers of Dave Ramirez, a former janitor for the University of San Andreas, Los Santos, described him as irritable and unsettling. Whereabouts regarding Dave Ramirez are still unknown.
I remember at the time the public was frightened, and rightfully so. Ramirez had no clear agenda at this point. He murdered a police officer, a farmer. He obviously had no specific target. Everyone feared that they were next. And hell, so did I.
There wasn't much we could do at this point. Yes, this was a statewide manhunt for one of San Andreas' most prolific serial killers, but we didn't have much information. No CCTV footage, no other residences or known hideouts. We were at a dead end.
What's your emergency?
Hi. I think there's a body in my apartment swimming pool.
You said a body?
Yes.
Okay. And can I have the location of your apartment?
Yeah, it's 7031 Cougar Avenue.
And your name, please?
Christian.
All right, Christian. We're sending officers now. Could I have you flag them down when they arrive?
Yes, I'll meet them at the front.
Attention, any available units. Caller reports a possible 187 in a swimming pool at the apartment complex on the corner of Cougar and North Rockford Drive.
Oh, shit. Is it in the pool?
The next victim, Geo Smith, we found behind an apartment building in Morningwood, dumped in an empty swimming pool. The 911 caller managed to give us footage of Ramirez just casually walking away after dumping the body.
Yo, what the fuck is that, bro? Holy shit, this guy's fucking slumped. What fucking pussy, bro? How you get that fucked up? This boy just dumped him in the pool and shit. Holy. Look at this guy, he's fucking slumped. Fucking bitch, bro. Peace, bro.
There were no signs of urgency in Ramirez's demeanor. He didn't even bother to check his surroundings. It was just another day's work. It was very strange, and just plain eerie the way he fled the scene, if you could even call it fleeing.
He also has a note in it. He had a note in his mouth stating that, I'm back.
Go and pull out that note for me, Crangus. At this point, Ramirez's MO was all over the place. First, he slit some guy's throat, then he left him on the highway. He stabbed another guy and threw him over the highway. He shot a deputy with a .45. He stabbed Ranson on the highway. And then he tortured a man in his own home. And now we have Geo Smith with a single fatal stab wound and a few bruises in an empty swimming pool, nowhere near a highway. He also left a note in Smith's mouth stating, "I'm back." Fingerprints that we took from the note confirmed our suspicions that it was Ramirez. So I kept wondering, why is he now being so vague? The day before, he started off strongly, claiming responsibility for almost every victim, but we haven't heard from him since. Maybe he actually wanted to get away with it this time.
Hey, I'm Detective Lead, Walker.
Okay, nice to meet you. I'm Detective, Long Dick.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you heard that right. You heard that right, brother.
Yeah, it must be hard growing up in high school.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. LMAO. Well, call corner. I think we got everything ready for now.
Get him out of here. Poor guy.
We took CCTV footage from the area and followed Ramirez's tracks all the way back to a Stanier, which had belonged to Geo Smith. He hopped in and took off westbound, and that was the last time we'd seen him.
Not even 20 minutes later, we receive another 911 call for someone shooting on La Puerta Freeway.
911, what's your emergency?
Somebody's shooting on the freeways.
Which freeway?
La Puerta freeways.
Do you have a description of the shooter?
I didn't get a good look. I just remember seeing all blue, a blue shirt, blue pants, maybe a cap. It's definitely a guy.
4 GSWs to the head, 2 to the chest.
Oh, jeez. You see what? Let me look for shell casings. I was able to find 4 .45 caliber shell casings in front of the van, and that's when I just immediately knew this was Ramirez. Who else?
We had all just assumed that Ramirez had murdered Santiago on the actual freeway because of all the shell casings and the bullet holes in the windshield.
But it wasn't until later that CCTV footage surfaced showing that Ramirez found Santiago at Vespucci Beach, made contact, and stabbed him. Ramirez drags Santiago into his own van and drives away.
A few hours later, a witness reveals footage from their dash cam at the time Ramirez started shooting.
Oh dear God. Oh shit. No, dumbass, get down.
He either shot him for fun, or Santiago was still alive, and that was footage of his execution. Ramirez staged this scene, meaning he propped the body up in the driver's seat, shot him there, and we didn't know why.
The manhunt continues for Dave Ramirez, the so-called highway killer, as he appears to remain one step ahead of law enforcement at every turn. Today, he murdered Geo Smith, a former PE teacher, and Jose Santiago, an accountant, without leaving any trace of where he might strike next. Footage filmed by a witness's cell phone appears to capture Ramirez fleeing the scene just after he dumped Smith's corpse into an empty hotel swimming pool. Hours later, hidden camera footage shows Ramirez striking Santiago at Vespucci Beach and dragging him into Santiago's personal van. He drove them both to La Puerta Freeway, where passerby dashcam footage captures Ramirez last seen firing into the vehicle, striking Santiago a total of 6 times. The LSPD has set up random checkpoints throughout the city, searching every vehicle for the highway killer, but have had no luck in making any arrests.
Sun rose on a new day. Ramirez was still out there searching for his next victim. My family was starting to worry, not only for my safety, but my mental health too. I've hardly slept ever since the investigation began. Didn't care too much though. I was too focused on trying to catch this guy.
We were expecting another call, anxiously waiting and wondering when he was going to strike next.
I know it sounds bad, but I just wanted him to get someone already. It was the only way we were going to catch him or gather any new leads. Ramirez was a damn ghost.
And I've been creeping and stalking, but it's not like you ever hide. Well, take it from me, you're gonna die. You're fly, but you ain't nothing special. You'll pay a steep price for this high. Just don't tell me that I lied.
911. Hey, I'm on the Los Santos freeway, and I'm pretty sure we just passed by someone lying down on the shoulder lane.
Where exactly on the Los Santos freeway?
They're like right next to the Elgin Avenue on-ramp when you're getting on the freeway.
Are you still near him?
No, we were just passing because...
That's fine. Did it look like he was involved in an accident?
No, we didn't see anything but him.
Yep, understood. And what was your name?
Keith.
Okay, thank you for calling, Keith. Officers are on their way.
There it is. We don't know if it's Ramirez yet. Let's figure it out.
The victim, Alex Darren, was still conscious upon arrival, suffering a single stab wound to his abdomen. Thankfully, he was able to provide details regarding the encounter with his attacker, though leaving him on the highway was already an obvious clue as to who it was.
He's still alive. He's not. Did I say he was dead?
Oh no, you didn't. I just thought he was dead. How you doing, sir?
Guy stabbed me
in the stomach. In the stomach. All right, big fella. I hate to ask you all these questions while you're sitting here. But did this man have a scruffy beard?
See a beard.
Didn't see a beard. Did you see where this guy took off? What car he was in?
Red Chevy Impala.
4273. Can we get a bolo out for a red Chevy Impala?
What's the last thing you remember?
I was riding my bike.
Did he say anything to you or leave anything with you, anything like that?
All he said was that I smell good.
Okay.
Yeah, the medics are right around the corner, quite literally. I think they're coming right now.
I'll flag him down. It's interesting what Ramirez did. Because he had trouble finding potential victims on the highway, Ramirez conducted his business within city limits. And then he went through all this trouble to deliver his victims onto the highway, to live up to the name the Highway Killer, I guess.
After we were done questioning him, the medics took him down to Pillbox, and we found his bike near the MRPD just as he had described.
Has it been there this entire time?
Yes, have not touched it.
We went back to search for his phone, and luckily, we found it not too far from his bike. We sent it off to the lab, and they uncovered Ramirez's fingerprints.
At this point, we're just playing cat and mouse, trying to get one step ahead of him. We just needed to wait for him to mess up.
And he did mess up. We found out where he was hiding. That red Chevy Impala wasn't just any red Chevy Impala. It was a 1967 red Chevy Impala. And there were only 3 of those in the city. One of them was registered under an auto shop owned by an Augustine Ramirez, Dave Ramirez's father.